Hey guys.
Hi.
You're listening to Not As We Planned. So get ready for
Honest,
raw,
unfiltered,
unhinged story
where we share our advice, opinions,
and talk about all the shit that people avoid discussing. We want to point out we are not qualified professionals, although I feel like I am one.
and what we say is the advice we would give to our besties. Hi everyone, welcome back to Not As We Planned. We hope you are feeling fantastic and good and fantastically fabulous.
The weather's picking up now, isn't it? Why is it? Is it an English thing that you always like automatically talk about the weather?
Yeah, it's an English thing. I think it's because it's so rarely nice that when it is, it's like, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, I saw like all these things on TikTok, like when the sun comes out and you realise like you were like...
Didn't have seasonal depression. Yeah, you just had the seasonal depression. It's so true. How's your week been?
How's my week been? A few like cute things with the kids. Like for anyone that's sort of like been following the update with Blake's football, he got a medal at school for footballer of the town.
Yeah, that's the
How freaking cute. He was so proud. Like he's sleeping with his medal. Like, have you ever? I obviously reached out to the coach at school, and maybe he thought that because like, obviously I don't know what.
Was it him that come?
No, different person.
Right.
But I obviously spoke to him when everything happened at school and him being really unhappy. And I don't know whether obviously he gave it to him to boost his confidence or whether he actually... I'm not doubting that he didn't deserve it.
Doesn't really matter.
But I just think it's so nice that he did that for him, because something like that, just like giving him that bit of confidence, I feel like has just made him so happy. So I love that. Ivy had her dance show on the weekend and that was really cute. And anyway, that's me. You?
Yeah, you. So, well, you'll know, I had like, do you know what? I'd say 4 to 6 months, I have a burnout. And I know it's because I'm doing too much. Like, I know that, and I almost like preempt it, and I felt it building for a while. Like, obviously I do the podcast, I do like social media stuff, but I also do teach boot camps 4 days a week. I also have one-to-one clients. And then obviously like being a single parent, and I don't have help during the week. Their dad has them 3 nights every fortnight. And it's just all felt a lot. I've obviously got a holiday, and do you know what? The last few weeks have just been so busy. I've had no breathing room. I've literally had zero time for myself.
We've done a lot with the podcast.
We've had like all very privileged positions to be in, which is what I think again doesn't help with like this guilt I'm feeling at the moment. But I feel like we've had some amazing meetings. I feel like just life in general has been so busy. I feel like I've not come up for air, and I'm juggling everything, work. You don't want to drop a ball. And then I just feel like yesterday I got in the car and I just burst out crying. Like, just feel like, do you know what I think was the trigger yesterday? It was Tuesday actually when we went into London for a meeting. And Tuesday's one of my days of Milo, and I was like, darling, I'm really sorry, like you're going to go and spend the day with Bubba today, but that's what he calls his grandma. I knew he would have a fun day, and he goes, but mummy, at the moment, all you do is have meetings. And I just say that. Yeah, and I have, because I feel like we've done a lot of even like Zoom meetings after school. We've been really, really busy, all exciting stuff, and like it's all for them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think like the guilt of that, and then literally feeling like honestly, I haven't even had time to like wash my hair. I haven't had time to clean like there's parts of the house. I'm trying to bloody pack for holiday. I'm nowhere near even really started. Like my house is a mess because it's got clothes everywhere, and that overwhelms me. I don't feel like I can be in a peaceful place in my mind where my house is a mess. I mean, you've seen the state of my phone, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, that is just an accurate representation of my brain. And I think yesterday I just really felt this overwhelming feeling that I'm a single parent and I don't have someone else who I can call up and be like, babe, do you mind if you did this and run and got this? Or like, again, like yesterday I bought something for Theo for holiday. I've got home, tried it on him, realised the top's one size, the bottoms are another size. It doesn't work. I've now got to go after school to take it back, but like I haven't got the time. Just really noticing the lack of presence of having someone significant in my life and having someone I can lean on, or even like turning around someone being like, look, I could really do it an evening in bed or sat on the sofa and just being. And yeah, I just felt this massive overwhelming feeling of it being very apparent I'm on my own. And
do you know what? Trying to like take something positive out of it, which I know like you usually always do on your own, and I'm like pessimistic over here. But like just listening to you say that, like I think again, something like what you've like been feeling over the last few days is a massive like highlight of why you are going to be so much better off meeting someone that is local.
He can do that anyway.
Because for example, like, you know, if someone was around to be like, do you know what, while you're going and doing this, I can go and do that. 100%. And I think that that's so
I
nice
realise.
to know.
Yeah, no.
Like,
and I've been thinking like with these feelings, I'm like,
having him wouldn't have actually helped in
it. It would have made it more stressful.
Yeah,
I would have been trying
to find time to speak to him.
And I think also what I'm realising at the moment is just the way my life's been at the moment. I actually don't have time for someone else. Like I really don't even know when they'd slot in.
What a positive.
Unless they want to become a cleaner for me. Like I was like, I was thinking I could do with that.
As Carly arrived,
want a boyfriend.
As Carly arrived at my house, like my boyfriend's here, like hoovering, and
I don't want a boyfriend.
I came downstairs. I was like, "What is that setting? It sounds really high." He's like, "Have you used this before?" I was like, not sure.
I'll have that bit of having.
No, but like, I don't know. What a positive thing to have come out of a relationship, and you're not even like 3 months down the line, and you're already like
11 months.
upset. No, but upset about something, knowing that if he was still in your life, it would have actually made it worse. Like what? So like, yes, you're feeling shit. Yes, you're feeling overwhelmed. We know that this is a temporary feeling. Like how great that is not bringing you down. It's actually making it better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
want you to realise that what a positive that when you're at your lowest, normally that is when people will start like reminiscing on their relationship and feeling a bit sad, and like you're not, and that's a big deal.
I didn't even think about my relationship when I was feeling like this. It's the first you've
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, like it didn't even come to my brain. I was just like driving, just thinking like, I don't know, it's overwhelming. Look, like, oh, what an awful position to be in. I'm going on holiday and I'm stressed over like there's much worse problems I can have, but I still think it's valid to feel really overwhelmed by stuff. And I know next week when I'm away on holiday, I'll look back and I'll be like,
it was all worth it.
Yeah, I got through it. It's fine. And I know that that's it with everything at the moment. God, I feel like I've matured so much. But every time I'm struggling, I know it's a passing feeling because I know the majority of the time I'm sat in a really good headspace at the moment. I'm feeling very excited and positive for life. I've got, you know, like the world at my feet. And yeah, like I'm 11 weeks tomorrow, broken up. How's that?
So
nearly
crazy.
3 months.
Yeah.
I believe, where's the time gone?
I don't know.
So it's exciting. Like I've got my holiday and then next month I've got something personal going on. And I feel like in my head, April's been this like big, exciting month. I've got stuff going, I'm obviously away and then I've got other stuff going on. And I feel like once I'm out of that and I'm into May, I don't know.
We've got an event in May.
And
literally just secured the venue, and this is for anyone that missed out on the last event and they were a bit gutted. Patreon will get 24-hour priority.
Realised that.
And we sold out in 7 hours last time. So this particular event that we are doing, which we will share very soon, once the tickets are sold out, we cannot add more. So if you want to come, you need to join Patreon. It's in May, it is in Hertfordshire, and it is going to be amazing. It's quite different to what we've done before.
Tickets will already be on sale by the time this episode comes out.
Cool. So that was really unhelpful. Sorry if it sold out.
Yeah. I think it will be.
Also, I think maybe we should let people know that we went on a little trip to see Roxy Nafusi. That was really
amazing. Like for anyone who doesn't follow her and you're looking to like change your mindset, like she's got 2 main books. So Manifest is one, then there's a further manifesting one. We get asked a lot about manifestation. I cannot recommend those books enough. They strip it back. They make it easy. But her new book is called Confidence. And it's like 8 steps. Yeah, it's about 8 steps to improving your self-worth. Like, pretty sure most of our listeners could probably benefit from that. So, yeah, go and check it out. Maybe we'll pop a link to those books on.
Yeah, and I started reading Manifest for Kids
Yeah, me too. Leo loves it. So we were playing this. I was desperately trying to keep the kids awake, you know. So basically, last night I had a leaving dinner for my sister's moving to America on Friday, and the kids were it was really sad, crying. But then I had to get the kids back. But I had to pop into this girl to do a patch test before she's doing my roots. And she wanted to do a patch test, and I was like, I can't have the kids asleep because then like I'm going to have to carry them in. They're going to be moody if I wake them up. So I was like, I needed to keep them awake. So the whole way home we were playing this game, which they loved, where I like asked them a question. So I was like, what's your favourite animal, or whatever it was. And then I said, oh, what's your favourite book in the whole wide world? So Milo was like, oh, Oi Frog. And then Theo was like, that special book that you bought me the other day that we've been doing together at night. And I was like, oh, stop it. It's really, do you know what? I'm only about maybe 15 pages in, but it's really good about talking about normalizing feelings that humans have. So if you do have pretty much everyone's child struggles to self-regulate because they're not mature enough to do it. But Theo will be 6 in May. And there's certain words which he doesn't understand, and he'll ask me what they mean. And even that, is probing us to have conversations we wouldn't be having. So they did say they recommended from 8 or 10.
Yeah, do you know what? I've actually only gotten maybe 4 or 5 pages in because, right at the beginning of the book, it was talking about your emotions and how they're valid and stuff. So we then went into a complete conversation about, we use examples because that morning, Ivy did something that really upset me and I was really cross. And then we spoke about how her being sad was really valid, and I explained what valid meant and how whenever you're feeling sad, no one can ever tell you that you can't feel sad, your feelings are valid. And it ended up turning into a really long conversation. And I just thought wow, I'm so happy. And I want to have conversations with my children about those sort of things because I think we grew up, especially young boys, probably being told oh, don't be such a girl, don't cry. And, or just not being validated. And I'm actually going to touch on something ever so slightly on Patreon because it is very personal. It's quite different to something that I've ever spoken about before. But just to touch on it slightly on here, I have definitely more so in the last few weeks really started understanding maybe where some trauma of mine with conflict and how I deal with certain things in relationship and where it has stemmed from. And it's been really eye-opening. And I don't know, I sometimes feel had things like that been around for me to talk about and be able to express and be heard and and understand that all feelings are valid.
I feel we're in a privileged position that I feel people are so much more aware of those things now and getting people talking and there not being any shame. That's it. I think growing up, lots of us experienced, if you were feeling any negative emotion, which are all completely valid and very human feelings, whether that's anger, whether that's sadness, whether that's embarrassment, to snap out of it. And we don't have the capability to just snap out of it. Actually, what we need to do is feel validated and heard and have a safe place that we can outlet that. And I think that's where we as parents have the responsibility, and we can be the people that change that for our kids and essentially try and help them understand the safety of talking and communicating from such an early age that we're building really amazing people for future relationships.
Yeah, definitely. Just crack over some emails. Do that. Okay. This is called Military Wife Scared to Leave. Hi girls, please keep this anonymous. I only found your podcast this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I've binged a lot of episodes, but not sure if you've had a question or situation like this before, but any advice or encouragement would be appreciated. I love hearing that people have just found it. I'm always intrigued as to how did you find it?
Was it TikTok?
I've been with my husband since I was 17 and I'm now in my 30s. We have 2 kids together, 9 and 11. In 2020, I started feeling I wasn't happy and we wanted different things out of life. At first, I thought the problem was me and I have a lot of childhood trauma, so just tried harder to be a better wife. It took me a few months to realise I need to communicate this with him. I didn't say I wanted to leave, just that I wasn't happy anymore. But really, I didn't see a future anymore. His personality has changed completely. He accused me of having an affair, which is laughable as I have a child attached to me 24/7 and we were in the middle of a lockdown, and just got very angry. Then a few weeks later, he flipped again and said he was sorry. He would make changes and asked if we could try again. There's more to this, but that's the basics. I agreed. I'd sprung this on him and wanted to give him a chance. During this, he had also told me that I needed to go to therapy. At first I disagreed because really we both needed it, but in the end I reached out to someone, but he didn't. Now, 5 years later, I could cry admitting how long this has been. I know I've made huge mistakes and should have left in 2020. Therapy has opened my eyes to how toxic this relationship is. He drinks every weekend, sometimes in the week too. I grew up with 2 alcoholic parents and I hate being around I hate it being around the kids, but nothing I would say will make him stop. He was even blind drunk on our wedding day, and it still haunts me, as I should have turned around and walked back up the aisle as soon as I realised. He talks to me like I'm a child, but expects me to shoulder everything. The household, the parenting, the emotional stability of the kids. One of my kids is neurodivergent, but we're still waiting on his diagnosis, and dealing with him is a lot, but it's all on me. He can't handle it. He flies off the handle all the time, and I'm the one to pick up the pieces. He does whatever he wants with no consideration of what it's actually like to have a functioning household. I'm stuck in most Saturdays cleaning and washing while he's in the pub. Again, so much more of this, of course, but I just walk on eggshells all the time. My stomach drops as soon as I hear his key in the door. There are small moments where things are good, but they are rare. My therapist has helped me see I need to leave. I've done a lot of work on myself, but there's only so much I can do while stuck here. We are military, which means it will be me who has to lead the family home.
Yeah, because he gets the housing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I work part-time and my big worry is where me and the kids will live. And the thought of being away from them when I'm their safe space fills me with dread, as this is the number one reason I haven't left yet. I can't believe I've allowed myself to get into this situation. It mirrors my childhood so much, and I'm just sad, lonely and anxious whenever I'm alone, but I put on a brave face for everyone around me. Any words of advice on housing and money and making it work? Thank you for reading this, and so sorry it's long. It's so sad when you hear that people are so unbelievably unhappy.
So terrible.
And they feel like they have no way of leaving, but there is always a way. Like, I understand that obviously one of the reasons you were saying is in regards to the kids, but I think we've spoken about it time and time again, that staying for the kids just isn't a good thing. Your kids will pick up that toxic energy. And to be honest, I feel like maybe looking back at the childhood that you had, saying that you grew up with 2 alcoholic parents and what you've had to sort of like almost deal with as an adult, realising you've got a lot of childhood trauma. I think what you want to make sure that you do is not repeat that for your children. So I think that holding that like as a high value of yours, to like realise that that should be a reason why you want to go. In regards to money,
I would look into things like universal credit, like I'm sure we've had people before who have spoken about this. Maybe we'll put a thing on Patreon for people who are in that situation and people can write them.
Get help with housing.
I think you can be housed. I think I know someone who's actually going through this now, who went through a situation where she's in the process, her divorce is nearly through, but she won't be in a position where she can afford housing. I'm pretty sure she's being housed.
Do you know who that's?
No, I don't. But we'll put something on the Patreon today as well.
If you are listening to this, can you do us a favour? Would you drop us a DM, or if you're on Patreon, write in the group, and we will try and help find a solution of what it is, the steps that you need to take.
Yeah,
there are so many people. Yeah, there are so many people that do message being like, "I'm really worried I won't be able to find anywhere." Like, I mean, I guess the thing is, eventually, it will. In my head, I would think that you need to try and move in with family, and then in the meantime, you need to try and find somewhere to rent, and he would obviously have to accommodate in regard to some sort of child maintenance. But I don't know enough to give you solid advice. Like, here are the steps that you need to take in order to leave. But one thing I do know is it's possible. Like, you do not need to stay for money. And also, please don't stay because you're worried as to how you're going to cope without the kids 100% of the time, because they are much better having you 60-70% of the time being happy, content and not feeling so anxious, rather than being with a mum 100% of the time who is unhappy. It's not going to do them any good, and it won't do you any good.
I agree. Okay. Red flags, catfish and chlamydia.
Oh, which one would you like the most?
I don't know. Okay. Hey ladies, I started the podcast backwards and now I've gone back to the start. So glad I found it. It's so healing right now and I couldn't have found you at a better time. I'm a few months into trying to co-parent, divorce, heal, etc. And here's my story, which is long, so please cut down where you need to. You all say that. A long one, but red flag central. I met my soon-to-be ex-husband after being single for around a year, broke up with a boyfriend of 3 years, first love, and truly thought we'd get married, and fully in loving myself era. I was 22 at the time and he was 26, and we both fell in love quite quickly. The red flags started to show, but I was so naive that I didn't action anything when they popped up. Red flag number 1 was he was seeing someone at the time, sleeping with them, and didn't tell me until I asked.
Wow, like
That's pretty big.
a red flag. That's just like
Just a no deal. Okay, gut feeling. Later on, it came to light that he was sleeping with us both at the same time and just had not been honest about the situation and justified it as I was technically single. But for me, I wasn't going to sleep with someone else whilst I was seeing him. Yeah, I completely agree.
like Carly.
Like me, because I have standards. Tash doesn't.
Can we quickly point out that's obviously a joke? It's only from a few episodes ago. It still makes me laugh because I listened to it today when she was like, I'm kind of like Carly in that way. Like, I don't really sleep around. Hello. Apparently, I sleep around. I don't think my boyfriend would be too pleased about that.
I was going to turn up with an STD test for you today, but I think that's too fun. Right. A few months down the line, he told me he loved me, and I said I felt the same, but things were about to take a turn, as I felt like a trip to the sex clinic would be a good idea for us both. Yeah. Start of the relationship, you do your test.
Is it a bit late?
A little bit late.
Like, I feel like it's something that's done before you sleep together.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, red flag number 2.
Still.
Turned out he'd given me chlamydia, and most likely because he was shagging around and didn't wrap up. I hold my hands up for being partly accountable here, but I was sleeping with one person only, and he had not been honest with his dick dipping.
Never heard that saying before.
To elaborate, once I'd found out about him sleeping with the both of us at the same time, he ghosted her and told me he'd, in a few words or less, picked me and loved me, etc. Oh, girl.
It's looking great. Pick me. Love me. Choose me.
Right. Still not getting the message. We pursued our relationship, and around 4 months after meeting, he gifted me a trip to New York for the both of us for Valentine's.
To be fair, I definitely are.
So that. In New York. For Valentine's, which seemed so romantic and thoughtful, and now I've realised this was a red flag, known as love bombing. And I say this because this never happened again once he'd gotten me. A year down the line, and we'd gotten married. We overcame a lot of issues to get married. We were different races, religions, but his family portrayed racist opinions from day one. But I went with the love conquers all memo. Lol. Another flag waving in my face that I decided to ignore. Number 4. 2 years after getting married, I gave birth to our first child, and things seemed good. I'd married the love of my life, my best friend, and despite the initial issues, we did life together, and we'd now created our own little family. Fast forward another 6 years, and we'd had quite a few ups and downs, of course, and a lot that involved his mum. Red flag number 5. She was very opinionated of me in our life, and always in a negative light. I didn't know about narcissism until around a year ago, but wow, the stories I could tell you. She'd cause major arguments, get drunk and text me abuse, but I always just put up and let it go. For the sake of my then husband and my family, and by this time, we'd had 3 children together within a short 5 years. Just a quick rundown of the issues she's caused. We'd go on holiday and we'd be questioned on why we would want to go there and why we were taking the kids. What a stupid thing to do. We'd decide to keep the gender of our babies to ourselves and we'd be questioned on that, and it caused arguments. But when we did reveal our first baby's gender, it caused a huge family argument because we asked her to keep it to herself, but she told everyone. She'd say she didn't like the names we'd call our kids. She hated that I invited my mum and family over one Christmas and shouted in my face when she saw me and my husband just sat there and laughed. So many red flags, but as a lot of us do, I just let so much shit go.
Sounds like a cunt.
So that I could have that family unit and a husband. But red flag number 6, men who can't stand up for you to their mum. She'd cause arguments, call me a bitch and all sorts, but as long as I was okay to brush it under the carpet and kept doing so, then his family was okay with that, and I'd had enough. The tipping point came during a long holiday where we'd taken the kids out to school to travel and learn for 2 months, and the shit we got for this. Anyway, during this holiday, we did spend a lot of time at beaches and pools as there were in Asia, and I noticed he'd not only glance at other women, but do double takes and clearly stare for a bit too long.
Ugh.
Having 3 children and still with some baby weight, my youngest was 20 months old during this trip, I obviously became very self-conscious of myself and my body, and witnessing my husband doing this. I started to think I was being over the top, but OTT. Yeah, over the top. But something inside my gut wanted to ask him some questions. And one thing he admitted to was, yes, sometimes I look a bit too long. And if he'd been watching porn, and he replied, yes. Bearing in mind, we'd never had this conversation before, and I was under the impression that he wasn't. Maybe very naive of me, but we had regular sex and I didn't think anything was lacking. This conversation...
Do you think a man watching porn when he's in a relationship means that he's lacking something, or is it just a man?
I don't know.
Because I don't know how I feel about a man watching porn. I don't think it's that bad. Obviously, the whole staring at other women is like...
It's never bothered me. I think if it's done secretly, it's different, because that feels a bit...
But I guess, like, is it something you announce if you're not...
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't be particularly offended over it. But I think everyone's different. And I guess a lot of that's to do with your self-worth and your security within yourself. This conversation broke my heart because it wasn't just staring at women around the pool. It was a porn addiction behind my back, Instagram girls, and even Reddit threads. Okay, that's different.
Obviously, that's fucking different.
Yeah, that's different. It's not just like, oh... You know.
Like in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, like you've gone like a whole week without being able to see each other or whatever. Yeah. So like he's going to like have a wank and watch a bit of porn. Like, I feel like it's very normal.
It's very normal, yeah. A porn addiction's different.
Oh, God, yeah.
Instagram girls and Reddit threads.
Oh, no.
It really broke me to the core because all of the times when I'd initiate sex and he'd reject me, and it all added up now.
Oh.
That's a thing.
I don't want it to be like instead of.
I know so many stories cover physical cheating, but this felt just as deep. He was getting after all these other women on a daily/weekly basis for the entire 7 years of marriage, and he never once has the balls or respect to say it out loud to me. A turning point when his hidden porn addiction was then turned around onto me, and I was called controlling because I said I would have appreciated an upfront conversation on this topic years ago, and I would have told him my feelings on it then. I started to feel repulsed by him, the way he over-sexualised everything, and even me. I did not see this man the same way anymore. Someone I was so in love with once. He was narcissistic. He was one person at home and another outside. Me, perfect. And so manipulative. And unable to have raw, honest conversations. Someone I put on a pedestal, and don't get me wrong, he was a good dad at times and financial provider, but this killed me. I still suggested counselling, trying to do more dates together and maybe reading a book or praying/meditating together to help heal. In 2023, when this all came to light, 2025 began and I was truly done. I was not going to beg for him to become the man I deserved because nothing had changed and I'd only stuck around for the kids' sake. I tried to make this work for over 1.5 years, but it just was not happening. He told me he'd stop the porn, but something in my gut just didn't feel right. I didn't trust him or what he had or what he said, and I truly felt betrayed and not good enough. I needed to heal on my own. He had his own issues and just wasn't really sorting them, and it was all surface level. I think that's really hard when you know someone's got issues, and like, if you're taking accountability for your own and they're not doing it, there's nothing you can do. In your relationship. Like,
yeah.
You can't do anything.
You can't force somebody, you know what they say, you can take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Like, at the end of the day, like, someone's going to want to sort out their issues. Someone wants to do the work. You can't force someone to go to therapy. Like, they can go, but it doesn't mean they're going to be honest and really open up. And, you know, as you said, you've tried for 1.5 years and he's made no changes. So good for you.
If I didn't mention my feelings or issues, then we'd probably be married for another 7 years. It gave my body dysmorphia for a short while, but this body gave me 3 beautiful children, and I'm fucking proud. Working on my healing and working out a co-parent routine. If I act like we're okay around him, then things are fine. But as soon as I remind him of the divorce, etc., he flips a switch and he's so spiteful, talking of cutting money off for the kids, even though we've agreed what he will contribute. Do you think I did the right thing?
Yes.
Or did I overreact?
No.
Was this something that was fixable?
No.
He and his mum both told me I was overreacting. Fuck off, mum.
Yeah, piss off.
And it's only porn. He didn't cheat, but I felt like I was catfished. My trust was broken and I was truly betrayed.
At the end of the day, like we just said at the beginning of this episode, like your feelings are valid. Like, do you know what as well? Like, I don't think it's as black and white as like, oh, I got a divorce because like my husband really likes porn. Like, there's so much more.
No,
to
it's
it.
not
like
that. It's not that. He actually joined a dating app the same night I said we should get a divorce.
I mean, there you go.
There you go.
There's your
Anyone who moves on that fast, good fucking riddance.
Yeah.
And that sealed the deal for me. Who the fuck joins a dating app on one hand but tells you that they love you and don't want a divorce a few hours before signing up? No healing, just signs up to find someone to shag. And worst of all, he put photos of my children onto the dating app profile. I was done. Love your podcast so much, girls. Please don't stop what you're doing because you're healing a generation of hearts you didn't break.
Oh, I'm so cute.
And it's making lots of us laugh and cry. Lots of love and hope to meet you both one day.
Oh, no, I love that. Proud of you. Like we say all the time, sometimes it is harder to like leave when there's not that like massive.
It's not that physical infidelity either. It's like the talk. Like, is it the same? But
also, like putting that porn aside didn't sound like you even ended up being on the same page. You know, we say like sometimes in a relationship you either grow together or you grow apart. I feel like you were doing the work, growing, and like
you're just not heard at all. And I think that's actually really, I think over time that's actually really dangerous. Is being with someone who doesn't hear you, doesn't validate you, and you end up completely losing yourself in a relationship. And I think when you only have one life and, you know, you are a mother to 3 amazing children, I think that just sets such a bad example to our children that we don't value our own worth or self enough. And we need to stand up for ourselves in these situations. It's like what we said, the episode that went out today, like how dangerous it is when you're in a mediocre relationship and nothing's awful, you haven't got anything in like physical evidence, but you're miserable day to day. Like, that's still enough reason to leave. And I'm sorry, it's not just a porn addiction. That is major gaslighting. That's what they say it's all down to. But it's everything you said. So I really hope we've helped validate you, and you should feel completely validated. Never question your decision. You can never make a wrong decision. Like, everything is leading you to the life that you are meant to have.
And do you know what? I actually saw something the other day, and I think it's quite relevant to this. And it said the partner that you have is a reflection on your self-worth. And would you take that as a compliment or an insult? Like, is the way that your partner treats you and the way that you accept their behaviour and how you allow them to treat you, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? And I think that's just really like profound when you think to yourself, oh God, like I've chosen to stick with this person that actually is such a reflection on how little love and self-worth I have for myself, because I'm putting up with so much shit, and that's what I did. I'm very guilty of that, and I will never ever be guilty of that again.
Same.
Okay, this one is called Finally I Can Move On. Love that. Hi ladies, I've written into you before, but a quick recap before sharing my latest update and the revelation I needed to finally file for a divorce. In May 2023, after a few months of him acting shifty, I found my husband in bed with a girl from his workplace.
Another one.
Just 1 week before our son turned 2 and 2 weeks before our 4-year wedding anniversary. We'd been together for 10 years and I never thought that he would do this to me. For a year after that, he went off living his new life, going on multiple holidays, getting her initials tattooed on him, posting photos of them on social media, and only having our son when I dictated. Meanwhile, my whole world had been turned upside down. Then last summer, he admitted to me that the grass isn't greener. Shock. And supposedly ended things with her. He moved job locations, and for about 6 weeks, we unexpectedly started to give things another go. I'd done so much work on myself and was surprised I was open to giving him the time of day, but before I had a chance to really think about what was happening, it quickly fizzled out. I took us on abroad, and it gave me time to get the space and realise that was not what I wanted or needed. Let's just call it a slight lapse in judgment. Despite it now being 2 years since we separated, I'm yet to file for a divorce, partly due to the financial implications, but also because I know that is really the start of the end. That was until yesterday.
Or the end of the start? No, that's funny. But the end for a new start is what I meant. Cool.
That was until yesterday. The girl he cheated on me with came up as a suggested friend on my sister's Facebook, and the girl had changed her profile picture in November 2024 to a photo of them together. They supposedly ended in the June. My sister screenshotted it and sent it to me, so I forwarded it to him with the caption, "Has someone been telling Porky?" instead. Turns out they had continued spending time together and sleeping together, despite him constantly spinning this narrative that he was going to wait for me. All he wants is our family back together. He misses me. He's so attracted to me. Blah, blah, blah. Yesterday I went and sold my engagement ring, and now I have the money to pay for my divorce. Sorry, I just got goosebumps. I feel like that is so fucking powerful. I know this is going to be bloody hard, but I now have zero doubt that this is what I need to be able to do to properly move on with my life. I know not everyone will understand, but I feel like I needed that final part of the puzzle to confirm that I deserve better. I think I knew that deep down, but this has removed any doubt, and now 2 years later, I'm finally filing for divorce.
Yeah,
Well done. I love that. And do you know what? It's like we always say, like, don't put pressure on yourself in regards to time. Everyone's got a different amount of time that they need in order to get to that point where they're like, do you know what? Now I'm ready. Sometimes people go back. Sometimes people drag things out. I know I went, forgave, brushed under the carpet again and again until I was at that point where I had my light bulb moment, and I was like, I know that I'm done. I know that I'm happy to draw the line. I won't wonder about what if. I won't be like, I knew I would have no doubt, and I knew that I could face forward and never ever look back again. And whether it takes someone 2 years or 20 years, like, everyone's got their own journey, and you should be really proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I think that is powerful and I love it.
Yeah, absolute power. Confession of the week. Whenever my soon-to-be ex-husband, we still live together, leaves his shoes downstairs, I pour a little bit of milk in them. Not too much, just enough that they start to smell over time.
Oh my God, that is disgusting.
Oh, milk when it goes off is rans.
Oh my God, they're going to stink of sick.
They're going to sink of sick.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I mean, do you know what? Some of the fun and games you must... I feel like you need to do that for your own sanity if you're having to live with the person that you've separated from and they won't leave. Like, make their life hell.
Right, I'm going to give you like a self-worth affirmation today, guys, because
let's do it.
I feel like some of us are lacking that.
Hit me with it.
I release self-doubt and embrace my inner strength and resilience. Okay, so all that doubt about yourself, someone else is making you feel like doubting whether you're deserving or something, like, especially anyone being gaslighted. I know from personal experience, when you're gaslighted, you do have doubt. Are you being unreasonable? Are you the problem? Release all that self-doubt, guys. It's valid. Release it and embrace your inner strength and resilience. You're stronger than you know. You can get through anything, and you're going to be more than okay.
Love that. Love you guys.
Love you. Review us, follow us, share us,
subscribe, and go and join Patreon.
Thanks. Love you. Miss you. Bye.
Bye.